We can see that.
All right.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No flipping off. I'll be testing you a bit later. Only joking. I was doing this. I've done something similar like this before. It's just a little bit of economic sort of bit, really. And it's start of the year, and I thought, right, let's do a thing about the year on the basis that, you know, what are we in for? Yeah, what are we in for? What's the economy in for? What are my clients' investments, markets? How are things affecting them? Right. Okay. So I'll zip through this. Talk about UK economy, inflation, interest rates, geopolitical issues that are out there, and there are there. The new Sunak government-ish. The positives, there are some positives. It's not all doom and gloom. Some personal and business housekeeping that you can do, and where to go for further advice. Okay. UK economy then. We're not expecting a lot of great news for the UK economy. All right. The International Monetary Fund came out late last night with a downgrade for the UK economy. They were expecting a 0.3% growth this year, now 0.6 contraction. Okay. That mild recession, however, though, is well anticipated. A lot of structural reasons for that. The continual high energy prices, gas prices. A lot of that because we don't have our gas storage anymore. It got rid of strategic faux pas, whatever you want to call it. High energy prices. We've got high inflation. Part of that is due to the obviously gas prices. Higher borrowing costs. Our mortgages, our credit cards, or any borrowing, clearly. The knock-on effect of that is high wage demands from certain key sectors. Not just the train drivers, we've got the teachers, we've got the nurses, we've got the, fire brigade. Whole sectors are, wage demands from. It's a wage cut. These aren't keeping pace with inflation. We've known the stories. Okay, we're not in the sort of public sector anymore. None of us are in the public sector. So we know these costs. Okay, and the cost of living pressures, they're affecting you, me, and everybody, and businesses clearly in the UK. This is UK. Some of this affects worldwide, but predominantly UK. Okay, that recession, by the way, 15 leaders economies in the world, we're the only one that's expected to contract this year. Even Russia is going to grow. They're obviously going to sell more gas they're not going to sell it to Europe anymore. They're selling it all to China now. So that's where their resources, their natural resources, probably all going to China these days. Okay, inflation then. As you'll know, it's double digits, 10.2%. It is expected to reduce significantly during 2023. Okay, primarily the large energy increases from Q4 2021 and Q1 and Q2 is going to drop out of the rolling 12 months. Yeah, the rolling 12 months inflation in it. They're going to drop out. You'll notice already the petrol and diesel are significantly low. It's not £2 anymore for a litre of diesel. It's 170-ish. So 15% drop. So that is going to feed through to lower inflation. So these structural reasons for it. So Rishi sending, we're going to have inflation. Well, that's a bit of much of a given. It's going to happen throughout the year. However, energy prices subsidies are reducing. In April, we're all on the subsidies. That is coming to an end. It's going to be replaced by we don't know what yet. So we might not be subsidised as much. So although we're going to see energy prices falling, our subsidies that we receive are going to fall. So we're still going to be paying high energy prices. But the shocks, the increases, they're not going to be there because they've been in the system now for, getting on for 12 months. Okay, wage demands, they're going to feed through to the. I've gone too far. Sorry. The wage demands are going to feed through to the marketplace. They will happen, and food prices. The food prices are a sticky element. If they go up, they generally don't come back down. We're talking about dairy, milk, eggs, cheese, all that kind of stuff, rocketed, and you'll find. I think tomatoes now starting to increase, and there's a slide further on. Food inflation will continue to increase, really, because of potential fertilizer restrictions, more of later. Okay, interest rates then. The current Bank of England base rate is 3.5%. Anybody doing any fresh borrowing will know that it's increased. If you've already got mortgages, then you're generally on a 5-year fixed rate, potentially. There is an expected 0.5% increase, February 23. More or less put my mortgage on it, 0.5%. I can't see it being quarter. Inflation is still too high. They're gonna get this down. Market expectation, however, is to top out at around 4.5%, so another 1% from where it is now. So if there's going to be a 0.5% increase in next month, probably another 0.5% over the year, maybe a quarter here, a quarter there. That's the expectation. If you look at the swap rates that mortgage lenders are looking at, we're looking at 2-year and 5-year money. That's where we are. That's what we're looking at. Okay, it will lead to inevitable mortgage rate rises for people that are refinancing, for people that are coming to the market. Okay, what I would say is that the volatility in interest rates that we saw September, October last year, those days are over. 2-year rates were higher than 5-year rates. It was ridiculous. That's changed now. I did a mortgage probably November last year, October, November last year. Still not gone through, but the Halifax is from 5.74. That was a 5-year fixed. That client now is a full 1% lower. So, they've dropped rates, and when this happens, you contact your lenders and say, look, rates have dropped. I want this new product, please, for my client. And, they get the new offers out. So that's what I've seen. So the volatility is over in respect to rates. Rates going up, that's going to happen. They are going to go up. Good news for the UK economy on the mortgage front. Around 50% of mortgages now are on 5-year fixed rates. So by definition, if 50% of mortgage on a 5-year fixed rates, roughly 20% of those are coming up for renewal this year, and those people are going to have that shock, if you like, to negotiate a new rate. If they've got a decent broker, decent mortgage guy, they should get as good a deal as they can get. If they've not got a decent mortgage guy, then they won't. Send them here. I might be able to help them out. Roughly 20% on a 2-year fixed rates now. Used to be the other way around. The market has transitioned. I can't remember the last time I did a 2-year fixed rate, probably about 3 years ago, actually. The rest of the market, the people who've got mortgages, generally trackers or discounts. Okay, rate reductions are expected in 2024. So that's interest rate reduction. So 4.5%, plateau a bit, come down. That's the good news next year. Geopolitical issues. All right. Have I missed a slide? No. Okay. Putin then. It's not just Ukraine. The guy's a madman. Food prices. A lot of food prices are going to go up. A lot of fertilizer and chemicals, natural resources from Russia. And this will affect food on the table that we will get from producers over time. China, they are continually to grow their military. They didn't have aircraft carriers, a decade ago. They're building bloody ginormous aircraft carriers. They are building islands in the South China Sea, Spratly Islands, from a rock. They've now got military bases on there. All this tension with Taiwan, and you hear President Biden say, look, he's telling them, don't go there, don't go there. You've got the Pacific Fleet doing their navigations and all the rest of it. A lot of tension there. Populism, not as big a threat as was. The states had it with the orange guy. We had it with the blonde guy. It's still around in Europe and places, but it looks like it's not there anymore. But I don't like talking about the B word, but the UK trade deals, where are they? There is chatter that potentially we're going to be left behind these massive trading blocks, the EU, US, and Pacific. We've got to get our skates on with this. The country went a different way, or shall I say, a certain generation went a different way, and the other generation didn't vote. So we are where we are anyway. Energy security, liquefied natural gas. Okay, this is a big thing that Europe's done. Germany, they've built these plants. They were beholden to Russia for their energy. They've built these storage plants for liquefied natural gas, and the storage that the EU has got now means, we're not going to have these shocks for energy prices. Europe's done a really good job replacing the gas that you used to get from Russia. Remarkable, really, what they've done. But they've got lots of money and they can afford to do it. But it's going to help Europe as a whole. Obviously, Norway as well. We personally didn't get a lot of gas from Russia, but when people stopped buying gas from Russia, they went to our suppliers, which put it up. Okay. Gas storage, that is the key. We've not got it anymore. Whose idea was that? Brains Trust were around there, weren't they? Anyway, the Sunak government then. We've got to be honest here, he was dealt a poor hand following the Truss Kwarteng experiment, shall I call it that. Economic stability was the goal. That's largely happened. We've got high energy costs. The EU has too, because they didn't have the gas storage. They've solved that. We've got high wage growth demands from sectors of the economy because of inflation. The US has got that too, but they've not got the high energy costs like we have. And the EU hasn't got the high wage demands that we've got, the labour pressures. So the EU's got one, US has got one, we've got both. It's led to industrial action, the high inflation's there, there's no tax cuts that the Trust wanted to do. I've put poor quality subs bench there. They don't impress me much, this lot. I don't know if they do you, but not a lot of critical thinking out there. These people, a few of them are populists, Grant Shapps. Oh dear. I don't think he's very talented. They've had talented people in the past, but their subs bench is not deep, put it that way, the ministers. And there's few funds for investment. This Regions Fund and all the rest of it, bit of a lottery, Port Barrel, announcements recently. The country needs investments, the hospitals need investments. HS2 White Elephant, another populist thing that committed ourselves, and now the place that needs it, the north, not getting it. Well, my neck of the woods, Derbyshire and Yorkshire, that bit's gone. Northern Rail, it's not there. All this investment, it's not there, and stuff like that affects the economy. The M1 between sort of junction sort of 33 Sheffield and 23 Nottingham, it's forever blocked with traffic because of the economy that is reliant on the M1. It's missed opportunity in this region. All right, there are positives. I don't know how we're doing for time. Can we give a signal somewhere?
You got about 2 minutes left.
Okay, there are positives. Okay, there's going to be contraction in the UK, but there's going to be global growth everywhere else. Yeah, US storming ahead. They've been proactive. They've done the Inflation Reduction Act. They've done the Chip Act. They wanted security of their critical industries. Subsidies for chip manufacturers, not reliant on Taiwan. The reason they don't want China to go to Taiwan is where the bloody chips come from. There's going to be global growth everywhere. There is going to be a post-COVID bounce in China. The zero policy is stopping. Yeah, in China. That is going to lead to an expanding economy there and the wider emerging markets. A lot of Western companies are invested in China and emerging markets. A lot of Western companies sell luxury goods to China. Okay, so that is going to be good for the rest of the world. We've talked about inflation. It will fall as quickly as risen, probably. It says in question brackets because of the reasons we spoke about. The energy increases dropping. Now, perversely, whilst there was going to be a bad year for the UK business-wise, economic news, it's not going to be great for this year. But investment markets is going to be better. It's going to be a lot better. Last year, the economy staved off recession, but market returns were pretty poor. I was having conversations with clients last year. Don't matter what sector you're in. It doesn't matter if you're going for growth, if you're in equities, if you're in bonds. All markets except energy lost money last year. This year, most markets will improve. Equities, bonds, gilts, they will provide the positive territory. So investment markets are better than last year. So people with assets will do better. I can't see the line underneath because I've got a strip across it. Can you tell me what it says, anybody?
Your own planning.
What
long-term fixed rate mortgage is the norm.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, longer term. This is what's happened. There has been a transition. It used to be 2-year fixed rates, 5-year fixed rates anymore. On that, USA, 95% of USA mortgages, US mortgages are 30-year fixed rates. 30-year fixed rates. And they've not got this. A lot of homeowners there haven't got this shock, this interest rate shock that we have. There's only us in Northern Europe really that do 2-year, 3-year, 5-year deals. Germany, everybody rents. In Italy, they live with the parents forever, and they just hand the properties down. There's hardly no property price inflation in Italy. Okay, so that's that out of the way. And your own planning. If you do your own planning, the positives to do. You know your own sector. Onto this slide. Review your business plan. Set your business targets. There will be new opportunities in your sector. Everybody, chat, whatever it is. The IR, the IA thing we've been speaking about. There will be opportunities in your sector. Review your personal assets. Review your pensions. Review your investments. I've put crypto there as a joke. Stay away from them. Just stay away. They're not regulated. if you've got money to waste, have a go, but I didn't tell you that. Review the underlying funds in your pensions and your ISAs and your portfolios. And just, again, I can't see that line I've put there. What's the line underneath?
Ensure they're fit for purpose.
Yes, and I've used this phrase. Ensure that what you have, ensure that that thing you call a pension, that thing you call an ISA, that thing, ensure that they fit for purpose. You know, you maintain your car, hopefully, have an MOT every, you know, you have it maintained. Yeah, get your stuff maintained. If you don't like me, use somebody that you do like, but get it maintained. Ensure that what you've got is fit for purpose. And plan with foresight. It avoids regret with hindsight. It always does. Just a reminder, this is what I do. Everything in the financial world. I'll just let you read that. But there we are. Any questions? You can stop screen share now. I don't know if you were listening, but hopefully it's a bit of a guide to the next 12 months for the UK. We're going to have a pretty ropey year, but the world's not coming to an end. You know, it's all priced in. All what I've told you is priced in the UK markets. It's priced in.
Yeah, because that's a good thing to remember. One thing I recollect from the finance industry is that everything's priced in long before you and I ever get to hear about it.
Yeah, yeah. It's the food now. It's the food inflation. You know, they're sending the tanks to Ukraine. It looks like they're sending the message. You know, you're not getting here, kind of thing. It's the food. It's the fertilizer. It's the food production that's going to be the stealth thing that's going to sort of creep over everyone.